Yo, what's up, everybody? Super Killer, and today I've got for you a kind of a different gameplay. I only got 65 kills, but I only got 4 deaths, so I figured I'd post it. So it was kind of a high KD gameplay. It wasn't, 65 and 0, 65 and 1, but like I said, I only got 4 deaths, so I figured I'd post it instead of posting a G36C gameplay, which you guys are probably fed up with. I would have posted the 86 and 9 kill gameplay I just got, but I forgot to hit the record button, so, call me smart, blah, 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 whatever. But anyway, guys, in this gameplay, I'm gonna spoil it for you. I did get an assault MOAB, but I couldn't call it in. I was EMP'd at the end of the game, and I couldn't call it in. I always save my MOABs to the end of the game, unless, that is if I'm using assault, this way they don't rage quit, because if I'm using assault and I get an assault MOAB, that means I'm probably gonna get a lot of kill streaks, and I'd rather than not rage quit, so I can rape them a little more, and then MOAB the people that spawn in later, the people that join in later. But I also had a Pavlo stored up at the end of the game, and I was EMP'd, so I couldn't call the Pavlo in. And I had my 8 kill streak EMP'd. I forgot if it was the AH6 or the strafe run, but I had an 8 streak EMP'd. I had a Predator missile that I couldn't use because I was EMP'd. So, the game could have been better. I died a few off, my kill streaks. That happens to everybody every game. But whatever. So guys, I'm not going to talk the whole gameplay, but I do want to briefly talk about yesterday, or actually the gameplay I posted earlier today. I posted it like 1 o'clock last night, or this morning, or whatever. But my license. So I went there this morning, and I thought I was going to have to take a written test. I thought I was going to have to do all this crap, and I figured I was going to pass it. I figured I was going to pass it either way. But I got there, and the only thing she made me do was take my freaking, on the road test. I didn't have to take an eye test, which was kind of ridiculous because the freaking people behind the desk, the driving instructors that are, testing me, they should want to know that I can see. I mean, if I can't see, I'm probably gonna wreck and kill them. So I was very shocked I didn't have to do the eye test, and I didn't have to do a written test, which I knew before I got there. I asked my mom, "What's gonna be on the written test?" And she's like, "Oh, you don't have to take one." So I was like, "Yes." And that homework that I didn't do, ouch, I kind of got the class a little earlier than I expected, so I needed to kind of do that at the end of the day and turn it in late. Ooh, that's not good. But anyway, guys, so I'm going to tell you a little funny story about what happened on the driving test. This is kind of random commentary, kind of scattered about, but so we get there, and my mom says, "You're going to have to do all the talking because it's your license, and you need to, you need to be an adult, and you need to go up there and do it yourself." And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. I thought she was going to make me stay up there at the counter by myself. I thought she was going to walk over and sit down in a chair. And I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be ridiculous. But actually what happened was, I walked up there, she walked up there, and I talked. So, I don't care. I mean, I don't care if I talk. I'll do the speaking. It's just like in school projects. I'll do the speaking. I don't mind. Just stay there with me. I don't want to be there by myself. I don't want to look like an idiot. Which I wouldn't have, but, so, I get up there and I'm like, I need to take my test, and she's like, what test? And this was a really, really fat white lady with spiky hair, short spiky hair, oh my god, she was ratchet. Anyway, so, I'm like, I need to take my test. She's like, what test? I'm like, my driver's test for my license? And she's like, and I'm like, don't stare at me, that's kind of weird. So I say it again, for the license, I need to get my driver's test so I can get my license. And she's like, okay, where are your papers? So I hand her my papers, and she says, and she hands me another paper, and she says, clipboards are over there. Or no, she doesn't say that, she didn't say that. She handed me the papers and said, fill this out in black ink. And I'm like, can I borrow your pen? And then she paused, and she looked at me and said, I have a process I go through. I do things in order. And I'm like, oh my god, sorry. And I'm thinking in my head, sorry, dumbass. I didn't mean to, mess up your order or anything. And then she says, clipboards are over there. So I walk over there, because she pointed in a direction and said, clipboards are over there on that table. So I go look over on the table, and there are no clipboards there. And I'm debating, do I ask her for a pen again, or do I borrow my mom's pen that she's using, so borrow it when she's finished using it. And I pondered that for a moment, and I went over and asked her again. I figured if she got mad, it'd be funny, so I went over and asked her. And I said, so, can I borrow a pen? There's no clipboards over there. And she said, no, they're over there. Keep looking. I might be on the other side. Oh my god, she was such a... I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to be mean. She was a dork. Idiot. Whatever. Insert bad word here. She was one of those. Okay. And then so I go over and I fill out the paperwork and then hand it to another lady. And she says, you ready for your test? And I'm like, and she said, you don't seem very confident. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not really ready. I know I'll do fine, but I'm not really ready. So we get out in the car and she stays outside and she's writing something down. And she says, okay, we're gonna have to do some tests outside of the car to make sure everything's working fine. She's like, honk your horn, turn left blinker on, right blinker on. You know, honk the horn. I already said that. And then she said, flip the windshield wipers and do this, do that. And then she said, turn the lights on. I'm like, okay. So I looked around because I've only driven in the dark once or twice. So I looked around and I found the lights. I turned them on. She said, turn your brights on. I'm like, oh crap, I haven't used the brights. What the freak? They turn on automatically. Something turns on automatically. I don't need to know this. Where is it? And she walks in and she's like, usually it's right here, blah blah blah, and she helped me. And then we get in the car, okay? And I'm making sure to use all my freaking turn signals, and I'm doing just fine. Blinker, 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 and then she's like, this road is 30 miles an hour. Okay, so when you get up to the brown road, you're gonna turn left. And I'm thinking, brown road, what the heck? Oh, sure enough, there's a brown road. So we drive up to it, and I start to turn left, but I do notice there's like a gray gravelly type material right beside it. And so I'm thinking, okay, whatever. So I go and I make the turn, and I turned off the road. I was not on the road. And there was these huge, like, half-foot potholes, two of them, one after the other. And in the middle of them was a freaking mound. It was like, you know, half a foot tall, and if I had hit that going, you know, 30 miles an hour, the car would have gone, and I would have been like, oh crap, I just screwed up the car and failed my driving test. I slowed down, and I went over them, and I'm like, that wasn't as bad as I thought. That's what I was thinking. And I said to her, whoa, there are potholes in the road. And that's why I was going over them. And then when we crossed them, I said, holy crap, that's not the road. I'm not on the road. What? So I turned on the road, and she's like, oh, don't worry. Almost everyone that takes this test drives off the road in that exact same spot. So I felt incredibly relieved. And then we kind of just drove around for the rest of, you know, like, 6 minutes. She made me turn here, turn there, stop at the stop signs, merge onto a, you know, a highway-like thing. It wasn't a highway. It was, you know, one of those 55-mile-an-hour straight. It was a highway. It was just not, you know, like an interstate. And then we were talking, you know, oh, what the heck's that thing in that truck? You know, just casually talking. And then that was it. I got my driver's license. So I basically passed with flying colors. And yeah, guys, that's it. I guess I did talk the whole commentary. So that's the game's probably winding up now. If you could, make sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends about my channel. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell your grandmother. Tell your uncle. Tell your aunt. Tell everybody that I'm out. See ya.
All positions locked down. Hold your positions. Payload ready for deployment. Repeat, payload ready. Losing Alpha!